it from a Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to another stream. Hope you're doing well. And we're going to this stream is going to be a focus stream, so you can focus with me. It's not any tutorial या कुछ सीखने को नहीं मिल रहा होगा इसमें. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working with this Pomodoro technique. So I'm going to be working on this new sort of document with solid.js. So if you want, you can have a look, you can see what I'm doing, you can learn from it. But essentially, if you just want, you can study with me. Put your headphones on, and then as soon as we go on a break, we'll open up for question and answer. लेकिन जिस टाइम पे फोकस मोड चल रहा होगा, I'm going to be focusing completely and doing the work. It's a very interesting technique जो कि पूरी दुनिया में यूज़ होती है. It's called Pomodoro technique. So you focus for a specific time. You focus for 25 minutes, then you take a 5 minutes break, and then you keep on doing this. So if you want to try this technique out, feel free to do so. I personally like it, and I've found it interesting and most of the times very productive as well. So yeah, feel free to join in. Assalamu alaikum brother. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Mehboob Awesi. And while you're watching this, you can obviously hit that like button. Do it. So let me tell you what I'm working on. I'm working on this really nice solid.js based REST client. Let me actually open this up if I can. It's REST client app, and then we also had another one that was, yeah, this is the one. Oops. Let's actually see what I'm working on. So I'm working on this REST API client. So you should be able to send a call, get back a call, see the results, and this is all built with solid.js. It's all reactive, and it's very interesting. So I'm going to create a video about it on how you can create this, make it work, create a new request. You will see that it looks really cool, but it's very hard to explain all of the concept in a really short amount of time. So I'm working on sort of a story on how I would tell this. But hey, how has your week been? You can always type in chat, and we are going to start working on this now. So let me also open the other one. It's Isha time already. Awesome. So let's also run this guy. There we go. And let me see if I can also bring up my Twitch overlay. Hi Agu, how are you doing today? Let's see if I can bring up Twitch bot. No, bot. What was it called? Can't recall what was it. I think it was called Twitch bot. Let's see if I can open it more. No. Let's open a new window. See if I can open it as well. Come on. Oh, there it is. Sneaky. So we're gonna open our desktop work, personal, I think. Experiments. Nope. Twitch. Where's my bot? Posture buddy packed. Is it in contributions? I'm so good, and you? I am really good as well. Thank you. Salim Imran, do you mind sharing your PC specifications? No, not at all. I'm running an AMD Ryzen 3700 as the processor. I don't recall the motherboard that I have, but I have an RTX 2070 Super, which is the GFX graphics card. I have AMD Ryzen 3700 processor. I have a 32 gigs of DDR3. I think it's Trident. I have actually two different ones, the Trident and the HyperX. RAMs. What else do I have? A 1 TB HDD or SSD. That's pretty much it, I think. Those are the main components that I have. There you go. What are your PC specifications? Experiments. Oh, there you go. CWA Twitch pod. We open it and we run it. I believe I built this with Svelte. Even now, I don't remember how I built it. npm yarn dev. I believe it was Svelte. Yes, it was Svelte. Yes. So we got bottom bar and gbook, or is it? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see if I can make it run. So screen round cam. Where do we have our alert box, support text, blah, blah, blah. There should be a bottom bar. There you go. Do you see the bottom bar? 5,000 refresh. So it's, oh, it's what? Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Packages on. Oh, it should be start. There we go. So now I should have my bottom banner up. Let's see if I can. Okay. And I do a refresh. There we go. So we should be able to see it here. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's so small. should be something like this: social Discord, and then I can update it right here. So let's go and update. And that's not the one, it's this one. Bottom banner, let's change it to focusing today. And there you go, you can see it being changing right there. Working on next video of solid JS crash course. Can you send me your WhatsApp number? Unfortunately, no, because I keep my WhatsApp for my friends and family only. But you can always ask me questions on Facebook. Farhan Mastoi. Thanks a lot. I asked because I'm thinking to upgrade mine. Currently, I have Core i7, 6th Gen, 16 GB RAM. It sounds good. I think I have my PC upgraded because I do video edits myself, and I also stream, as you can see, and then I have to also run these servers. So one server is just running for you folks to see, like this hole there, right? So I think I can make it a bit smaller, like this, and then maybe move it a bit down, like so. Like, looks good, right? There we go. So, and I don't know if I have all of this code actually public. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let's see if I can see. Git remote, get origin, or get URL origin. I do have it, but is it private? Yeah, it's private. Oops. Okay, makes sense. All right, I answered the question. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you for saying this. All right, I'm gonna go in focus mode now, so you can either focus with me, work, whatever you're working on, but I'm currently working on this solid.js crash course video, so I'm gonna keep doing that, and when we go to break, then I'm gonna be answering all the questions that you would ask. So let's begin. There we go. Awesome. So let's see. Just get this down. So go to client app, and let's see. This is a really nice application. I'm sharing the chat, so you can basically paste any code here, and then you get a really nice formatted code that you can now copy paste. So I'm gonna be, oh, this was the one that I used last time. Interesting. Let's go with a light theme. The type size could be 11. Yes, so I can copy this to my Google slide. All right, so last time we created the interfaces, but I don't know if I pushed the code, so let me actually push the code now. Okay. Okay, now I have pushed it, but I have not copied the code. So let's see if I can do that. Code highlighter. Okay. All right, so we go ahead and we add it. Create request elements, and we add it here. Oops, what? No. Wait a second. There you go. So we get this, and the shortcut that we use for this is call this SJS request list L. Use shortcut go to in and then we also add the requests array. Don't save. So then we have this array requests. This one section, copy this, then copy this, and then paste it here. All right, so we got the request array like this. What is better, promise or subscribe? It depends. If you have a stream, then you should be using subscription or observables. But if you just need to do one thing, then you can use promises. So if you just have to use it once and not do any fancy stuff like combining or observing the streams or chaining or running in parallel or do crazy stuff that's not really possible with promises in an easy way, then you can just use promises. But if you have something really complex, then I would suggest using subscribe. Or if you just want to use like one thing for every use case, then just use subscribe. In that case, you just have to make sure that you are unsubscribing, because that's very important. If you don't unsubscribe, you're gonna leave with a lot of memory leaks, which is not really a nice thing to do. So this should be request array in home tsx. Paste the following. Okay, so we got that. All right, okay, let's see how many shortcuts do I have actually in the JS snippet. So for TypeScript React, we have SJS navbar only. Okay, let's create some. So we're gonna go to SJS create. SJS navbar TSX. We go to FTSX, and first of all, let's pull the code. Okay, so we should have something like, so it just creates a simple one. Okay, then we have SJS app. There you go. Okay, then what do we do? Muhammad Zishan, join the class, sir. What class are we talking about? We're just focusing today. No classes actually. So it's just app router config. Do we have that in here? In the snippets? TypeScript. No. Implement translation. No, we don't have it. So what does this do? I think we have missed something. Let's see. We have something called SJS app router, which should be something like this. So SJS app router. And this should go into the app.tsx. So let's add that. This is supposed to be there. SJS app router config. This is app router. Right. Yeah, SJS app router. Okay. Do we need that then? I don't. Oh, actually, we do. Okay, let's do that. So we could go ahead and say, you consider it class? Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Use the shortcut router in the app.tsx. First, to create a simple routing config. So solid app.js router, have we already added it? Or no? We have not installed the solid app router yet. Oh, there you go. Okay, then what? Then we got SJS app router shortcut. Let's add this. So this is going to be SJS app router. Create the snippet. Okay, so we're good. Then we have SJS home component for all of this code. So we copy this, we go to our home component, and then we paste all of this code, just creating the snippet out of it. JS home comp. Parcel mouth, hey, how's it going? So we got SJS home component, then we should have SJS about component. So we can go to about. Okay, let's use this, create snippet, component comp. Which language to learn for backend? I know Python a little, so Django or something else. Django is a framework and not a language, but Python is a language. So yes, Python would be the right way to go. Unless you want to switch to something else. Notice that how it changes the code. It's probably because we have a different syntax code. Let's see what I use there. So I used light, roboto-mono, and do nothing. So roboto-mono is going to be the one. And then type size, do nothing, theme light. So this was it before. And now it's in 6 months. Okay, I think we're good. Then we gotta have SJS up proto final. And we need this code to be there. I think this is the same as what we have in app.tsx. So if I copy and paste it here, yeah, it's the same. So I'm going to create a snippet out of it. SJS app router final. So we got this one. Now we create the interface. So we call it SJS REST interfaces. It should be in here. Exactly the same thing. SJS REST interfaces. Then what have we got? SJS request array. So we copy this guy. We double check if it's okay in the home one. So this is supposed to be the array. I think exactly the same. So let's copy this guy, create a snippet. We say SJS requests array. And we do this. So we have saved this. Now we have SJS request list element, which we add after this button. So we add it right here, right? So we can create a snippet. How I can create it from here? Insert. No. Okay. Then I can just paste it here. We go here, create a snippet, SJS request. What was the name again? Ali Nagar Vlogs. Hey, how are you doing, Ali? All right, so this is what's happening. Let me show you. So by this time, our application actually should have looked like this. Like this. So there's nothing like to be implemented. You could go to about, home, but no request. But as soon as we add SJS requests, list element, and save this, look at that. We got a list of scores. Woohoo! Right? Super cool. That's what I'm asking from you. I know Python, should I opt for Django or backend, or should I start learning another framework? Which framework is the best? And thoughts on Django? I think Django is good. I think Flask is good as well. But I haven't worked with Python myself, so I'm not the right or the best person to ask about Python, unfortunately, because I've not worked with it. But I know, or I've worked with a lot of projects which included Python. So Django is a decent framework. Yes, you can definitely go with that. 100%. Create request elements. So we create the request elements in this case, and now what? Once we have created the request elements, we should start using the store, I think. So in home, and also we should have this. No, if we have this or no. Let's see if we can find it. So in the client app, we have home TSX, but we don't have a home CSS here. So we could create a home CSS, paste this code there, and then we should have it imported. So we save both of these files. Let's see what happens. So it got loaded. Interesting. Yeah. But what does this style actually do? Let's see. Ion icon. Oh, because we don't really have icons yet. So let me think. Let's not do it right now. I'm gonna remove the home CSS, and we're gonna remove this guy as well. All right. So what we now do is actually moving this. So in the actual application, once we are on home, we do have all these links that make sense, but we don't really have to show anything inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm thinking. I think the best idea would be to start talking about store here and creating a signal for this. I think. And then in the store, we don't need to provide it anywhere, which is again a good thing. So I think we can talk about store here. So we create the request elements, then we do create requests store using signals, right? Let me paste this code here. Let me copy this guy and then we paste it here. So essentially we are creating it should be JavaScript, please. Yes, copy, because I don't see any highlighting here. So this should be JavaScript or TypeScript. You could say either one of those. Does it also highlight if I say TypeScript? Or is it the same highlighting? Because I would expect them to have like IRS request highlighted. It's the same. It's quite the same. Okay. So all right, so we create a store using a shortcut. Create a new file called store ts inside the source folder. Then use the shortcut sjs rest store. In the file. So we go ahead and create this here. Right, so I'm going to copy this and actually start creating it. So in the new app, we don't have a store folders or files. So I'm going to create store.ts and then paste the code like this. But I would want to do a couple of things here. So I would first the val. All right, we gotta take a break. All right, let's take a 5 minutes break. So I'm gonna be answering any of your questions now, if you have some. Let's bring it here. There you go. Awesome. So throw your questions now. We have about 4 minutes before we can actually jump back. So I'm going to relax for 5 minutes. Let's also sit down. I've been standing for 25 minutes. It looks like. There we go. By the way, did you know if you're on Twitch and you try to send me a message, let's see if I can find it. And if you type on Twitch in the chat, drop, I'm gonna actually drop something. Let's see if I can find it. Twitch recap, interesting. And there should be manager sub, gift a sub, channel, then creator dashboard. There you go. So now if I'm correct, there should be, see if I can find it. Does it happen or no? No. Wait a second. Have I turned it off? I think so. Chat highlight. Berasne. Hey, how's it going? Wallet framework bar. Oh, I think this is the one. Yeah, there you go. I think it should be. There you go. It works. So if you're on Twitch and if you try to type drop, with an emoji, you would be able to see it. For example, I could do something like this. And you can see that there's an emoji trying to go. And it also shows the score if you actually hit the target. This is a game that I built when I had some really good amount of time. I'm from India. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Pera from India. How are you doing today? Actually gonna drop a couple of things to see how crazy it can become. And boom. Here you go. Yay. And here up top it also shows the score, but it's very hidden because of the size of everything. So let's do some live fixes. The score itself, I'm not really sure what shows the score. I think it's the same page, but I think the same HTML page, but I think it probably is sort of adjusted somewhere there. So maybe let's also fix that. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. So it should be assets, common, no, components, app. Oh, it's got drop as well. Yes. I watch videos on Code with Harry. Yes. What do you think about the channel? I think he's pretty cool. He provides a lot of good content, and he has a really good team as well. And he has been doing it for I don't know, too much time. Too much time. All right, come on. Where is my HTML? Yeah, so the scoreboard itself should be, there you go. So it should be not 20 pixel, but let's make it 50 pixel. Not 50 pixel, and we are out of focus. Watching from Bangladesh. Ooh, welcome. You folks are awesome. What is the time in Bangladesh right now? You see the score is a bit down now. Maybe let's fix it by moving it about 80 pixel from the top so we can see it again. Let's try this again. No, maybe do it to 120 pixel. So drop. There you go. So we got the score there, but we do want it to not be, yeah, maybe 120 is too much. 11:51 p.m. Whoa, crazy. Super crazy. It's about 6:51 p.m. here in Sweden. So it's not as late as you. I think I should also make it a bit here. There we go. Live fixing on prod. That's how we do it. Awesome. So yeah, everybody should be able to see their score if they hit directly the target. So let's see. Boom. One of them should hit it, right? No, not even one. Oh, there we go. Yay. 87.96 is good. Is a good one. But if you're on Twitch, if you type exclamation drop in the chat, you're gonna send yourself, your emoji, your name actually running at the bottom here. This is a live game / Twitch bot integration that we built, and if you're interested in knowing how it works, just let me know in the chat, and we're going to talk about it then. All right, let's see. So we're now good with the solid.js free time. So let's jump back to the focus time now. Let's see. Right, let's jump back and let's make it a bit smaller so we can see everything. There we go. All right, so we updated the game, which is good. So let's do SJS REST. Oops, not that. There we go. So we basically paste all of this, but we would need the solid primitive storage in that case. Let's see. So we should have this as a string or null, and then the serializer would basically mean that we have received an I request array. So we are coding something that is type safe. The only thing that's remaining is solid primitive storage. We have not installed it. So solid primitives storage. Project that develops high quality community contributed solid primitives. Okay. So yeah, we're using the storage here, which essentially creates works with local storage or the persistent APIs. So we can save the request on storage, and we can also create signals around it. So let's see if I can put this back. So this should be, shortcut should be SJS REST store. So let's create a snippet out of it. We'll call it SJS REST store, right? And this should now have an SJS REST store, but it should be in the TypeScript. There you go. So we got this. We can remove this and then we can open it. Asynchron AB offering relocation. I don't really know. I was already here in Sweden when they offered me the job, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so that they're providing relocation. But I came to Sweden with Klarna, which provided relocation. We also need to install the package. So create, then install the package, install package, solid primitive storage using npm add. So we do this, and then we highlight this. All right, so we could now say npm add. What is a snippet? A snippet is basically the code that you can create a snapshot of, and then you can basically paste it anywhere. So when I'm going to be recording this video, instead of writing all of this code, I can now just go ahead and type SJS REST interfaces or REST store, and then it would type it for me. So I don't have to hard code or live code everything. So it's very handy for live demos, creating videos and whatnot. So when I'm going to be working on this video, recording it, then it would be really helpful. Which VS Code theme is this? Good question. It's called Winter is Coming by John Papa. So if I can go to, I think it's preferences, themes, color themes. It's called Winter is Coming, dark blue, no italics. So you can just search Winter is Coming. No problem time. Anytime. All right. So we got the store now. The next step is to actually use this store instead of the hard-coded request. So I'm going to remove the request from here, and I'm going to say here it should be the store REST requests. So we're going to call REST requests. And I think that's the only change that we need to do. And you're going to see how easy now it would be to save those. So now if I refresh, I can still see those. But if I add more, I should be able to save them as well. Right? So let's see if I can. Is the battery drained of my headphone? No, it's not. Good. All right. So now we should also have these in the local storage just by installing the package. And yeah, there you go. We got the requests and we are saving them right here. Headers, blah, blah, blah. And there we go. Cool, 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 cool. All right. What's next? So we create a request using signals, then we update. Then we update the home.tsx to use the REST requests signal instead. So essentially what we did was we changed this part and we can shorten it like this. Oops. Wait a second. What is it doing? Okay. So I can actually remove all of this. Code, rest of the code. And the tab size should be 2 actually. Sorry about that. So this should be. And there we go. This now should be actually auto or HTML or JSX. Oh, we got JSX there. Cool, cool, cool. So we've got the REST request there. What's next? So we got the storage created, we got the REST requests. Now I think we could actually add a request to this. We got the list of requests, we got the storage, and now we can talk about adding a request. Let's actually do that in a bit. So Mudassir, hey, how's it going? So we got REST client form. This is gonna be this is gonna be hard. Hard to explain actually. Let's see. Think. What are you doing today? You can see right here. We are working on the next video of the solid JS crash course. So I'm working with this Pomodoro clock to focus and not be distracted. So we are working on how to create this tutorial for this guy, which would end up in something like this. Yay. Or something like this actually. So yep, that's what we do. That's what we are doing right now. Actually, now that I think about it, I should probably use the... Anyways, we're gonna look at it later, but yes. So how would we create this form now? I think we could do it, right? We gotta take it slow. So far what we've done is, let's see if I can bring it to clarity. So sequence, creating the project. You could call it something like setting project. Should rather be heading 1. So introduction, sequence, or we could call it something like putting the navbar. Actually, the sequence would still be the sequence in here, so I don't need to duplicate my efforts there. Setting up the project, adding blah blah blah, adding icon. All right, now from here you can say creating navigation and routing. So installing solid app router, creating the navbar, creating home and about components, creating... Or should I actually divide this into 2 videos? Maybe. Let's create the about component, create the interfaces, request array, signals. At this point we would have saved our request. Now we can say something like solid.js forms and creating a request. Isn't it Control-Alt-1? It is. So adding requests solid.js forms. Now this is where things get complicated in this app, and we would have to be very careful about how we want to approach this. Okay, let's see. All right, so first of all, we just need a modal, and we would have to be just showing and hiding the modal would be the case in this case. So let's see if I can add it. So we go ahead to our other JavaScript file and we go ahead and it's fine. So if I go to my request modal.tsx, so we're going to create a new folder, call this components, create a new folder named components in the source folder. Oops. Create new file called is it called request modal? Request modal, yes. Request modal.tsx. use the shortcut sjs request init file to generate a basic model. Right, so we use this shortcut that we are going to create. Let's see how this works out. So I'm gonna go to the new file. I'm gonna create a rest, or is it called request modal.tsx? Yes. Then we paste this. Now we don't have the directive, we don't have the client form, we don't have this guy, we don't have the client form again, but we do have the rest of the stuff, right? So I think this, okay. We also have one more thing here. All right, so now I think we have it. We also have like rest requests, set request. I think we need them here. So do we call the modal hide anywhere? No, we don't. That's fine. So how do we call the rest request modal then? First, let's create a snippet for this. What did we call it? We called it sjs request modal init. So we go ahead and we do snippets. Is it the client app? Yes, it is. So create a snippet. So now we have created. So we can say sjs request modal init. Boom, we pasted it. Super cool. Now also need to copy this and then use a slide code highlighter, copy this guy, paste it here. Okay, just for making sure that we can have it everywhere. All right, so we creating the request modal. So we create it, and then what we do is we go and use it inside home. So we import it and then we use it right here, right? There we go. So in the home tsx, we use it right before it. So we turn this into a fragment. Let's also create a snippet of this. So we can say something like create snippet sjs request modal usage, sjs request usage. So now I get to convert this into a fragment, so I can use both of them as at once, and we are still returning one item back. So we go ahead and we import this from there. Now where does this show modal come from? So we create a signal just like we create a state in React, but you should be using something like this. And we use create signal from solid.js, and we also use navigate. But we use navigate from here. Oops. There we go. So we use navigate. All right, so when we do use the request modal requests, come on, in the home.tsx using the shortcode sjs request modal usage. Then add the following code in the function to create some signals and hooks, and we basically add these three things. So we do this, okay, and then we just use it. So that would be it, and I can use location from solid app router, or you could remove the location. Where are we using location for each? But you're not using it at the moment. Let's see. We are actually using, interesting. So you need to add those. Interesting. Right, so yeah, let's keep those. All three of them. So should we try and see what happens? But then also we need to update the alert to be implemented to actual code. So here it should just say set modal shown true. And this should button be entirely replaced. No? Yes? I think it should be replaced. But it's an icon button. We don't have an icon button yet. Maybe we'll create an icon button right here. But let's put the set show modal to true here. So we do this, then our app should start behaving like a modal. So if I click this, yay! And my camera died. Woo! So let's see. All right, 7 p.m. Right, let me quickly put the camera on. So we create a request, but we don't have a way of closing this at the moment. So we're gonna have to look into it, but yes, we'll see. So we essentially have loaded this modal, which is the request modal, as you can see in the current color and blah blah blah. Simplarin, hey, how's it going? Welcome, long time no see. Awesome. So now we got this color. I think the only thing that's remaining is how do we close this basically. So we do have props.show. We could hide it by just saying, hey, if I'm going to click this again, or the request, if I click this again, you're going to just hide it. So I could say something like click. Am I doing it right? No, it's on click. Angular is what I'm remembering. So it should be hide modal, or is it set show modal to false? So we keep it simple. We open it, we click it, and it should actually go away. Right. CodeWithAhsan, I got a very interesting task at my job. Tell me all about it. What is it? So when we do on click, we should have retrieved this. Ah, awesome. We got a break. Let's go. Yeah, so what about it? What task did you get? I have to upgrade a project from Angular 7 to 14. Let's go. Is it a really big project with a lot of third-party dependencies, or is it an easy peasy one? Also, I think it depends on what you're using for Angular. If you're using 20 dependencies, okay, that's fine. Is it a lot? I would say it's a medium scale application if it has like 20 dependencies or third-party dependencies. I mean, it could be the core dependencies, but if it's third-party dependency like 20, I think it's a medium scale, medium to large. But I think 14 has been around for a while, like it's almost about 6 months. So you should be good. It's kind of tough. Yes, it is. Because you're going to be upgrading one by one for every version. But I think it's not probably not going to be a lot of problems, because I remember that after 7 the transitions has been very smooth for all Angular applications that I've worked with, so it should be pretty easy. Also, I don't know if you're using NX or not. Are you using NX as in mono repositories for the project, or are you using just the Angular CLI? In either case, I think it would probably take like a week or something. Abbas Al-Baluchi. Hey Abbas, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Angular only? Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. But it's interesting. I know there's some of I got to know one project in Synchron that is, I think, using Angular 9. I don't think any one of our projects are using Angular 7, but I do know one project that is using Angular 9, and they're thinking about. You're already at Angular 9? Let's go. You're already there. But are you checking like all the dependencies and if everything works for every migration, or are you just upgrading one by one, and then then you're going to check like at the end if everything works? What is the approach that you're taking? It's kind of interesting task. I'm only intern, but okay. Okay, that makes sense. But then once you're done with that, you're gonna be pro, and then you can go to companies and say, "Hey, I'm your Angular expert. Wanna migrate something? Talk to me. Here's my contact." And then everybody would be like, "Hey, let's find this guy who's an expert." I'm doing only these dependencies that shows up. When I do npm install. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that the approach I would take in this case is probably that I list down all those dependencies, and I would, even before migrating, I would find or try to see on GitHub those dependencies and their releases. So if all of them are supporting Angular 14, then we're good. If not, then we may have to wait for 14, and they might be supporting like Angular 13 or Angular 12, whatever that is. So I would, if I had to do it, I would go ahead and list down every dependency, third-party dependency or package, and then I would see if they're supporting the latest Angular. And then I would only test them out after I've migrated the whole project to Angular version 14, because there are a lot of migrations that they run when you're migrating. For example, changing the code, running schematics, blah blah blah. So if some of them only are going for, yeah, exactly. So if you are looking for 11 or 12, then yeah, you just stop there and then you make sure everything works, and then yeah, you can make a decision on either to replace them with something different or upgrading them. And it could also be possible that on paper they say that they work with Angular 11 or 12, but maybe they do work still with 14. It's going to be a bit challenging because I think 13, it was 13. I can't remember if it was 13 or 12 when Ivy rendering engine was actually introduced, but that actually had some breaking changes for the third party libraries. सर एक डेवलपर को दूसरा प्लेटफॉर्म की नॉलेज में होना लाजमी है क्या एक सक्सेसफुल जॉब के लिए? लाइक मैं अगर रिएक्ट डेवलपर हूँ तो मुझे एंगुलर की नॉलेज होना लाजमी है. सो दोज हु डोंट अंडरस्टैंड उर्दू, द क्वेश्चन इज, डज अ डेवलपर नीड टू know multiple frameworks? For example, if someone knows React, is it also important that they know Angular? And the answer is no. As a developer or a software engineer, you're mostly going to work on the task that the company gives you. So if the company is basically consulting React projects, then as a good developer that works in the company and gets paid for it, you should know React and you should know React well. But if you want to be able to, for example, just grow your skills, and if you find that interesting, and if you just want to practice more, learn more, then you can do it. But is it necessary to be a React developer and learn Angular? No, it's not. It basically depends. If my npm install works and lint and build, I'm good. And the next version, and then when I react, yeah, I think when you reach Angular 14, you can do the rest. I would say even I mean I would go as far to say if all the migrations are successful and you don't get any errors. And I remember that when migrating, we had to use like the force attribute a lot of the times because the npm dependencies were glitching, and we knew that okay, this is fine, just let us do our job. Then we used force, but when we reached the latest version, whether it was 13 or 12, everything was working. So yeah, I think you would be able to do the same as well. But it's nice, it's good that people or teams are actually investing in upgrading to the latest technology. That's very important, instead of just keeping the work to a minimum or creating a tech debt or a lot of tech debt per se. Alrighty. Is there a lot of changes from Angular 7 to 14? Yes, there are. I mean, the core API has a lot of changes. I believe there are some changes for the core API had a lot of changes, and the way the developers used them. Some of the changes were internal, but there were some changes that the devs use. For example, using view children and then passing a static prop to it, that got changed. There were some changes in the APIs of the components as well. Some of the things in the Angular CDK also changed. Angular material got changed a lot throughout because they were using something different internally. So a lot. Components should have a decoration as well, I think. Yes, because in the previous versions you could name differently. For example, if you're using a view child, you couldn't have different names for it, but now I think you gotta keep the same. Yeah, the component or directive, yes, every component class should have those. It seems like you're just starting to work with Angular, or am I wrong? Have you previously worked with Angular? Oh, you just started. Cool. And your first task is to migrate. Okay. All right. Well, I wish you all the best because you're gonna be learning a lot of things. If you're interested, you could also have a look at the NG book. I'm not sure if you have heard about it or seen this. And I don't know what happened. What happened on the 28th of October? But it looks like people went crazy, and we had like 5 sales for this one. Can I go and say CodeWithAhsan.dev ng book, so I can copy and paste this? But it seems like the stats for the book are increasing day by day, and I'm really happy about it. I remember there were like 227 ratings with a 4.3, and now we have 34 ratings with a 4.4, which is super cool. And I think there were like 5 sales yesterday. Is it 30th already? No, so it was the day before, so it was 28th. When there were 5 sales, and then I think there are like 40 to 50 sales per week. No, not per week, per month. That would be awesome if it was per week. But yeah, so yeah, do check it out. And perhaps next year, maybe towards the end or something, we're going to upgrade it as well. So I'm using Firebase in my project. When I do npm install, it gives me 3 to 4 high vulnerabilities. Is it safe to use? It's not safe to use, to be honest, Abbas. So you would have to look if you can see a newer version for those. So what happens essentially is, for example, if I'm working on this application and this application uses solid.js version 3.0 and it had a particular vulnerability, then it wouldn't automatically update it. So unless solid.js team goes and updates the dependencies in their code, you will still be using those. So when you see high vulnerability, you could try to see if the team or the package that vulnerability is dependent on, if it fixes it in the earlier or in the further releases, and then you can just update the version of itself. So high vulnerabilities, I would say if it says high vulnerability, that really means that it's not really safe to use. So yeah, you gotta fix those at some point. Alrighty, I need to see why my code didn't work. So I could say alert. What? So let's see. So if I open it, I click it, it doesn't work. Why does this not work? Have I missed something? So we got show modal. Yeah, I mean, I needed to do the same thing, but it did not let me do it. So I open this, I click here, and it doesn't do anything. So this is the one. Is it because I cannot apply the click event to a component directly? Would that be the case? So if I do something like div and if I apply this here, oops, and I do this and then I remove this and make it inside, then would that work? Because now I'm applying the click on the div. So if I open it, click it, yeah. So you cannot really apply a click event on the component itself, which is interesting because Angular allows it. Anyways, so I could actually update the snippet to something like this. Can I go ahead and do that, please? So I could actually save this, right? And then here, paste it, and then copy this guy and then go to in snippet. What was it called? Modal usage. There we go. Right? It should be good. Save snippet, please. So I could now say SJS modal usage. Still does it. Do I need to refresh? Here it has a div. Nope, still shows me the old one. Maybe because I need to go to a different file. I'm not really sure. Oops. So I can close this. I can open the home.tsx again. If I do sjs modal Still shows me the previous one. Now it uses that. Anyways. All right, so okay, let's see. So we opened the modal now. We also did use a really simple example for closing it. Now what should we do? So we do have, should we create the icon button component in this case? That could be nice. Let's see if I put this into the document as well. So we opened the request modal. Create the icon button component. I'm thinking, should I do it now or later? I think I could do it now. So icon button, where I'm pretty sure I'm using it in multiple places. So we do have it REST client forms. I'm using this like here. Then we also have like here. Yeah, I could use it. So we could create an icon button component. So what we do is we go and create a new component called icon button.tsx. So we go ahead and we create a new folder or new file, and then we paste this. And then we also go ahead and do this. So we should create a snippet. SJS icon button. All right, now the only problem is it's not going to work because we have this TypeScript issue. So, or maybe it is going to work if I start using it, to be honest. So if I go into here and then I change it to icon button, it requires on click label icon. So I could go ahead into the other code and then use this guy. Does it work? I think it works. So we got two buttons. One is this one and this is the other one. So I think this is the one that we really want. So if I click this, yeah, it opens it. Yeah. So let's do this. So we do add the icon button tsx, but here the TypeScript complains. So we should add it at least into some place. And I'm going to talk about it now. So we add this, then we should create the icon button component, create a new file in the components folder named icon button.tsx, then use the shortcut tsx to, so we create the components folder, name it icon button tsx, and then do this. So we add, oops, Okay, so we got this now. Make TypeScript happy. Yes, nope. So we do this. So I think we added the iron icon to somewhere in the solidjs.d.ts. So we added a solidjs.d.ts and we have it in the types folder. So we don't have a types folder, so we need to create types folder. Solid.js. Come on, where are you? js.d.ts. So we add this here and create a snippet. We call this sjs ion sjs types in it. Oh, we should actually have this. So I'm gonna have to update types in it. I can put in tsx. Types in it. Save please, thank you. All right, so now you can see that there are no errors at all because we fixed it by adding some types to our code. Super cool. All right, so let's go here and add, create a new folder named types, add a file inside named solid.js.d.ts and use the shortcut sjs types in it to add the following code. So we add this types, sjs types in it, and then oops, not this one. Where are you? d.ts. Yeah, there you go. So we go ahead into our highlighter, we paste it, and then we get this copy. All right, so we add it and this should make it happy. So we're good there. Then we also updated the home tsx to update the icon button. So we remove the previous one and then we add a new one. So we remove this guy. So now if I go to my app and if I mouse over, it says add. It's create request. What does this label do? Oh, for the screen reader only. I should also have this title, like something like title and then label, right? So it would also show like here, add request, as you can see. So this is also a good intuitive user experience. icon button.tsx. Improvising on the fly. And then this should also reflect in our snippets. So TypeScript React, icon button tsx, edit, paste. There we go. Save snippet. There we go. Okay. So then we basically use this. And here we could also have add the icon button in the home.tsx file to replace the other add request button. Oops. Use the shortcut sjs icon usage. So we go there. So we create the snippet sjs icon button usage, sjs icon button usage. There we go. Okay, what's next? So we have this as an add request. We do add it. We do also hide the modal when we click on it. I think the next step for us is to create the form itself. But now that's going to be very interesting because that's going to be interesting because I would now have to create this REST client form. And this is going to be so tricky. Thinking if I should do it in parts. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So in the REST client form, what do we really have? I was thinking I should maybe get the header out. But we'll see. So we would have to install the solid forms. Then we create a control group with control. We get the request because we could be editing a request as well. We then have submit, form update, and action button text. Okay. Then we create a couple of control groups. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. In order to use form, we need the text field. The text field doesn't require anything apart from the form control. So we would have to understand that each form control would have to be assigned with a form. Hmm. Okay, I think the next step for me would be to work on the text field first. So if I can just write it down. So with the icon button, I think we're good with the request modal. So I think, okay, maybe I'll remove this. So create, I would rather name this like creating a request modal. So we do alt 1. So after we have done the list item, we create a request modal. We create the icon button component. We make TypeScript happy, and that's it. Then I think we should go ahead and say, wait a second, navigation and routing. Okay, then this one should be solid JS form. Create a request. So this should now be something like implementing the text field component, implementing one text field with form submit. I'm just laying out how the pattern would be. So that would mean we're using a form. We're not going to use a class list or on submit in this case. We're just going to go and have a grid with the form fields, no headers, the method and the body and the button. Okay, so let's write this down. So implementing static text fields without headers, then hmm वालेकुम अस्सलाम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। मंसूर, क्या हाल है? How are you? So actually, let's see. And this is why it took me so long to decide how I would be teaching this in a video. It's so much code. so much code, so much. It's actually a lot of really good code. Hmm. When we have the body value updated, we actually, because this is what's happening. So if I go ahead and say something like this, and then I go and something like this, test 1 2 1 2, and if I go ahead and do something like this, if I don't format this and click outside, you see it's automatically formatted. This is also some feature that I added into this app, but then now I have to teach about it. So yeah, that's that. So I could make it weird, and still on outside it kind of formats it. So there are little things like this which I have the code for, but I don't want to type all that code, you know. Header value updated. Mm, create effect. What does this effect do? So if we have a request, we do null, then we return back request ID. But then if we have a request itself, then we do a request. Okay. I think I should change the name of this XHR, because it seems like I'm making a call. I'm not making a call here. I'm just getting the current request. So it should be something like, REST client form request to edit, maybe request to edit. Or we could say something like REQ. I don't know. Would it still be fine? Let's find out. Hello world. What just happened? I'm running. Damn, I'm running the server there. Wait a second. I gotta stop the server. Assalamu alaikum, Hassan Vice said. Alright, let's see. Refresh. There we go. So what I was trying to see if it still works, and it still works. So I gotta remove this, hit send, and now it goes there. The fun part actually is that I'm using the same form component in both here, create request, and here. And that's actually gonna hurt me and bite me. Yes, as you can see here. Yeah. Oh, I can't actually scroll down. I would have to implement a scroll in here as well. Okay. Was it request modal? Not this one. Request modal. Or should I put it into the... No, I should have it in the request modal. So this one should have like fixed size, blah, blah, blah. But then it should also have something like this should be max height. And then I could say something like max height full, but then overflow y auto. So then it should be something like, if I keep adding, this is fine, but if I do it here, now you can see that I can scroll, right? But still I can't have, why does it do that? So it has the button here, but if I add it, then it goes down. So I think the max height is a problem here. So maybe we could say something like max height, I don't know, 80%, and that should be it, right? So we could hard code that, not hard code that, but actually it's a fix. It's not a hack. So this max height full can be the abstract 80%. This should work. So now if I go ahead and say this, we already have a scroll. Maybe I could do 85. Give me 1 second. All right, so now I can check this again. So 85% sounds okay. If I add stuff to it, you can see I still can save it. I think that's good. So what I'm gonna do now is, we do have a plan of writing further. So we implement the text field component. Then we do it without the headers. Then what do we do? So we do it without the headers. The create effect, I don't think that gets triggered. Let's actually see. So when I'm using, let's see, clear console, and if I go ahead and go to request modal, or no, rest form. So in this case, we do have a create effect. It's an absolutely, I mean, it's a beast course per se. Yeah, let's see. So if I go ahead and if I go and see this, so it doesn't, and if I refresh now, this effect doesn't change. But if I hit another one, now it changes because I'm switching the roles. Okay, so this is not required for the add, but it is required for changing when we are changing, reflecting. So that's fine. So it gets the request, the new request essentially, with the body, headers, method, blah blah blah. Then it sets all those value like new request, the URL. So the URL should be this method.set value. If they're headers, then it's going to do that, and then it's going to return the request ID, and there we go, we now have it. But now if we have the request again, and the request.id is same request ID, then we don't do it. So we go and return, that's it. Then we do all of the other magic. So I think we're good there. Okay, and I can also expand this. I like this app actually. All right, so yeah, now that we have this, how about so we talk about REST client, we can talk about REST. We don't include the create effect. So let me also write this down so I remember. No need to include create effect because that's for the detail view. What does this form update do? Hmm. What? What? What am I doing here? So when the form value is updated, okay. So when the form value is updated, we save them into the store. Now I know. But then we should also have this in the request modal as well, right? Yeah, so when we submit this from the request modal, we set that. Okay, now I got it. Now I got it. But do we have that? Asafia says, good bro. Good bro to you too. But do we do that in the request modal here as well? The set request. No, we don't. So we don't have that code here. Okay. What that means? Because we don't have anything there. Okay. So we add all the stuff there. We add all about adding the request as well, but we don't update anything. I think we're good, but this would take some time. So I'm gonna do it next time, or in the next focus stream. But for now, I'm gonna sign off. So thank you everybody who joined today. Highly appreciate it, and love you all. Hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'm gonna probably see you next week because I'm gonna be very busy with some other stuff, and maybe with this solid JS work as well. It's taking more time than I anticipated, but I personally believe it's gonna turn out very good at the end. Yeah, or at least I hope so. So take care of yourself, take care of your families, and I'm gonna see you next time.